Hello, Kyle Harris here with a Saturday edition of Swing Analysis, and we're going to look at Gleybor Torres here. So we're going to play it through full speed. We'll go back, look at it in slow motion, and then we'll start doing a little bit of a breakdown and just talk about some things on his swings. So the first thing I like here initially that I want to talk about is just how he gathers. He does a great job, and you'll see his hips load back into his rear hip. The other thing I really like about this is how his knee never tracks past his back foot. And I also love, as he's gathering, you're going to see a little bit of abduction at the hip there. So you're going to see that leg angle. And I'm going to put a little line there just so you can kind of see how he does that. And we'll look at that. So as he lifts that front leg, you can see the hips moving back this way. And you can see as he's doing that, he's already beginning to gain ground right here. And when we talk about pitching, we talk about the importance of getting some momentum going forward to the plate as we reach our leg lift. That's basically what Torres is doing. And you can see him come through here. He's getting that movement. There's no sway. There's absolutely no sway in his back leg. As he loads the hips, he gets completely loaded. He's showing that butt cheek right there to the pitcher. And then he's moving forward, and he's holding that load. Now, from this position, as he moves forward, you can see that the hips are loaded, and he's going to start to load the hands a little bit. All right? It's not a lot. You can see it right there. He's about even with his back shoulder with his bottom hand. Right there, he's even with that back shoulder with the bottom hand. But as he moves forward, they kind of stay put. They go back just a little bit. And then he creates separation. So he's got a little bit of a forward move. So if we track the center of mass, as he strides into his launch position, you can see that center of mass moved forward. But he maintained contact with that heel on the ground. So his back foot, as he's loading, moving forward, that heel staying in the ground. Now both heels are in the ground here in his launch position. And you can see the hips have started to unload just a little, but the upper body is resisting that turn. And this is important, that the sequence of the load is extremely important, because as he's loading his hips, he's resisting with the upper body. He moves forward and he continues to resist, which is basically the upper body load. So that resistance of the upper body as he's moving forward is that resistance. A lot of times with young hitters, you'll see the hands come forward with the hips because they're loading out of sequence. The hands load, then the hips load, then the hands or upper body unload, then the hips unload. So we're out of sequence there, and that's why the upper body is moving before the hips when we're trying to unload and swing towards the ball. So from this position, the hips are loading, and you can see that lead arm resisting the turn. And the cool thing here is as we're in that position, watch that front shoulder. It's working back and up that way. Backing up that way. And that front arm stays adducted against the chest. The front arm stays adducted against the chest. And it's almost like as his shoulders are turning, his torso is turning into the front arm. And then that elbow starts to work up to work the ball through. So that front shoulder is what is leading the elbow up and over the pitcher's head. That front elbow is not working independently. All right. The distal portion of the body is working with the more proximal portion. That lead arm is working. The lead elbow is working with the front shoulder. And then that back elbow, you'll see that back elbow is going to tuck down to the side here. And you'll see the bat also working back, down, and up and through here. So that back elbow is following the back shoulder. The hands following the back elbow. The bat is following the hands, working inside and up through the ball. Another thing I like about this is his ability with that front arm to stay adducted. It allows the hands to work inside the ball, and he can attack the inside portion of the ball and get on plane with the pitch. It's hard to see from this view, but you can actually see also here, if we look at the hip, he's keeping the butt behind his heels as he rotates, which allows a path for the hands to work through the ball, get on plane, and work up. So the takeaway here, we can keep talking about this swing. It's a tremendous swing. The takeaway is the ability to gain ground and not sway with the back leg. Load the hips first. Move forward. Maintain that hip load in the back hip. Control the stride with the back hip. Create tension with the upper body and load with the upper body. Let the hips lead. Front shoulder working up. Back shoulder working down. Distal portions of the body following the proximal portions, working on and through the plane of the pitch and hitting the bottom of the baseball. Tremendous swing here by Torres. I think it's just something that obviously we all have our style biases. I just think he's got such a beautiful swing, and I wanted to kind of break that down. That hand path is just beautiful. But the important thing to understand, we've got to control the pelvis. We've got to control the spine. Everything happens proximal to distal, which means center of the body out. The movement works center of the body out. Without the center of the body working properly, those hands aren't going to be able to go through that path that they're working with right now. So the hips are leading. The spine is stable. The shoulder girdle is leading the hands and the arms, or leading the arms, and the arms are leading the hands are leading the bat.